I was abandoned by my parents, and I am going to tell you what it did for my life while I pack up my campsite. Hello, friend. I am so glad that you came over to hang out with me today. Hang on, that is probably just not gonna work. I want to get you a good seat. Look at all of this stuff. I have got to clean up all of this because we're actually moving. We are moving from our spot in Quartzsite and we're going to be going to Phoenix, and that's about 2 hours away. And we've been here since the end of December. So I have got a lot to do. I hope you have some time to kill today because I've got some stories to share with you. Okay, I think I'm gonna start over here because this is where usually the outside is my partner Kyle's thing that he does in the bus. However, we're all kind of pitching in these days. We've got to get moving and we all have like specific tasks, but we each kind of share in things when we need to. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to go grab a garbage bag. Let me go right back. Okay, garbage bag in hand. I think while I tell the story, do you want to come outside for a bit? You want to come outside? We have 4 dogs, and so I'm going to let them come outside while I am tidying up. Come on, guys. Let's go. I've got to hold on to you because this one sometimes tends to run away. I'm going to share the story or a story in my abandonment journey with my parents. There we go. All right, Theodore. Kevin, don't. Chico, no. Chico, no, don't pee on that. Don't pee on that. All right, there you go. Oh, yeah, we cannot pee on that. I don't know about you and your journey because everybody is very different. The journeys that they have with abandonment and their parents are really hard. I know for me, it's been super hard to have that abandonment by my mother and my father, both of whom I don't really talk to, but I did get a surprise that I will share with you at the end of this video. So stay tuned. I'm going to share a little fun update. Okay, I've got to get these things piled up and if there's any trash. So my abandonment story, I had a child young and I was a teenager when I got pregnant with my son, Ethan. Here we go. Any parent would have a lot of feelings around that, you know? And I think that was the beginning of the end of where my parents and I no longer had a great relationship. Okay, the garbage bag is not gonna work. Absolutely not. Chicos, come on, Chicos. Kevin, do not pee on that. Eloise, get out of the garbage. We gotta make good choices. Chico, not a good choice. Come on. Good boy. Turn my crystal around too. Oh, I'm new at all this stuff, blocking the wind from the microphone. All right, I hope this is audible because of course, as soon as I come outside, the winds go bananas. I'm gonna try and do this while covering my microphone a little bit. So anyway, my parents were not exactly happy that I was pregnant at a young age because I had a lot going for me. I had just lettered in drama in high school. I was on the honor roll. I had dreams of moving to New York and going to be on Broadway. And those dreams were obviously couldn't happen because of being pregnant. And so fast forward a few years, my parents and I did not speak well for those few years, and my son was 6 years old. And so at this point, I had to go no contact with my parents because my mother, for the majority of my life, was an alcoholic narcissist, and that's not a healthy person to be around. At this point, it was 2011, and in 2011, we had our accident, and our accident took the life of my son, Ethan. He was killed instantly, And this is when my parental abandonment got very, very real. Kevin, come on, Kevin. He never listens to me, and he always listens to Kyle. Well, believe you me, he is going on timeout in his leash. Sir, what do you think you're doing? No, 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 there's no pee-pee there. No, we're not marking that. Behave me badly. Bus. Come on, Wheezy. Eloise, get out of the garbage. Oh my goodness. This is what it's like living my life. Would you like to stay there, or do you want to go in the bus? Okay. Actually, I think I'm gonna move our camper van to block the wind. Yeah, I'm gonna move our camper van to block the wind. All right, in my camper van, we're gonna move it. Let me set the scene for you. We just had our accident, and I'm sitting in the hospital, and Ben, who is now 14, he was in the accident, he survived. Ben was okay, and I was all right. My partner Kyle had brain bleed, ruptured spleen, so many things were going on. So I hadn't spoken to my parents in at least a year because we had to go no contact because of their choices and their behavior. So I called them from the hospital to let them know what happened. And I said, I didn't tell them over the phone. I said, I just need you to get down to the hospital. I just need you to get down here. I can't tell you over the phone. You know, it was one of those moments where I was like, I really need my parents. And they came down to the hospital and they found out that Ethan did not survive, and they were pissed. They were so mad. You know, obviously I was devastated. Everyone was devastated at what had just happened. My parents ended up being very mad that I called them. My dad said that I only called them to embarrass them. I only called them to drag them down there and hurt them. So I'm feeling all sorts of ways, and they leave. The hospital security has to remove them from the hospital after we were dealing with so much stuff. All right, let's see. This breaks up the wind. Yes, look at, well, maybe it's coming like this way. Maybe the van needs to be, you know what? I think it's a little better. It's a little better. We'll work with this. There we go. Can you see it? Okay. So, and the wind is still here. It's coming this way. I need to move the van over here. Good golly. You know, a couple days goes by and my partner Kyle was still in the hospital. He still had a lot of things that we had to work on. I get a call from the funeral home, and the funeral home says, Jennifer, we really need you to come down here because your father is causing a big scene and is refusing to leave. He's saying he wants to see Ethan. He wants to see Ethan. I really didn't want to have to call my father, and I did, because I can't have the funeral director calling and telling me this. I think I'm gonna stack them up over here and just kind of get them out of the way. Okay, because the wind is better. Anywho, I will never forget it. I was riding back with my father-in-law from visiting Kyle in the hospital, and I actually just found this rock. It's one of our rocks, but it was just in the ground. We got it from someone we met one day going to a yard sale. It's called Token Rock. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, they designed these, and I just saw it. Inspire and be inspired. I think I'll leave that in this campsite. Maybe the next person needs to see it. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm calling my father. Something I don't want to do, but I have to do because the funeral director is asking me to do it. And so I call him, and immediately he's pissed. He is pissed. And he's demanding to see Ethan. All of his emotions are falling out everywhere. I said, I had to see Ethan that way. You need to remember Ethan, how you last saw him. And on the phone, I will never forget these words that my dad said. He said, you deserve to see Ethan that way. My own dad told me and again, I know Ethan just died in a moment that I needed my parents, in a moment that I was vulnerable and needed someone to not feel so alone. My dad said, like, one of the worst things he could ever say to me. And coming back from that, that has not been easy. Okay, I had to get these velvet pants off. While I do love my velvet bell bottoms, they can be super hot in the desert sometimes. It's not insanely hot out here, but I'm doing manual labor and work, and so they're just not as comfy. You might also be wondering what these are. These are actually remnants to a Harbor Freight garage that we got to be able to store our stuff. Within a couple days of putting it up, it was completely destroyed, and we've just been in this season of life where our bus was unfinished. Eloise, you are not supposed to be outside. And we've just kind of been sitting in that for a hot minute. And, this is what I'm talking about today, is one of those things that I had to reflect on. And I promise I'll tell you why at the end. However, I still have to pick up all of this stuff. So my dad, in saying that to me, that shattered my soul. I was absolutely heartbroken for a very long time and hurt and upset. And so fast forward to 9 or 10 years later, so a whole decade, I'm at this little lake, boondocking, where we're camping up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And I was sitting with my friend, Delmara, and we were talking about parents, and she told me something very profound, and that really was a catalyst to me accepting the childhood that I had, the abandonment that I had, and knowing that I was still worthy of love. When your parents leave you, if you've ever had that happen, you know that you feel so worthless. Because if your parents didn't even love you, if your parents didn't even believe in you, then are you even worth loving? And I've been in that place, and I've had to deal with abandonment for so many years. And it carried over to my partnership with my husband. And what she told me began that healing, that I was able to let it go. She said, Jen, my mom, either way, she taught me what kind of human that I wanted to be. She taught me what kind of person I wanted to be in the world, how I wanted to raise my kids. She either was going to teach me that in a loving, healthy, amazing way, or she was going to teach me that in a way that was a little bit more strugglesome. Either way, we are who we are because of them. And we have come so far. So many times I would say, that's not enough. I'm not enough. But here's the thing. You absolutely are enough. And so am I. You are enough right now to love yourself. And so was I. And so as we're sitting around this little lake in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it's just this little cove, everything was just so peaceful. And in that moment of talking to my friend about healing, which I think this is something else that's important, talking about your abandonment, talking about this in a safe space with someone you love and trust is so key to healing your heart and healing your soul. And so Delmar and I have this beautiful conversation, and I really start adapting that. I'm like, my mom and my dad, they both taught me who I wanted to be. I never, ever want to do to my kids what they did to me. But I think the thing that I learned through it most was the duality of it. I dropped my speaker out of the window. I don't know about you, but I listen. Hang on, can you hear it? That's my lo-fi beats. I'll leave this playlist in the description. I listen to lo-fi beats a lot because it's just so calming and soothing, and I have it play throughout the day, and even the kids listen to it, and so it's become something that I really enjoy to do. Something I had to come to realize is that I am doing my absolute best Not picking that one up. Nope, those are all the tools. So realizing that I'm doing my best in every single moment. And if I am doing my best in every single moment, then that must mean other people are doing their best too. In my last video, I talked about empathy and how empathy was important. With abandonment, I had to learn the power of and I had to get rid of saying but, because I realized that saying but invalidates every single word that came before it. You know, I like to call it the duality of life, because both exist, both are okay, and both are happening at the same time. My dad was struggling with the loss of Ethan, with being disconnected from him. I was struggling from just seeing my child horribly killed, and I needed my dad. And it wasn't okay what he said to me. You can understand that your parents can be completely awful, and they're doing the best they can with what they have, and it wasn't okay what they said or what they did or how they raised me. And it made me into who I am today. If I wasn't raised that way, I wouldn't have known struggles. It's like the butterfly effect, right? If you change one thing, if you change one single thing, everything else changes. And you don't know how it's going to change or what it's going to affect or what your life would turn into. Something else, I had to get a drink of water. I had to realize with abandonment and my parents is that they got it from their parents, and they got it from their parents, and they got it from their parents. And so that's why we're breaking the cycle. We're sitting in our shadow. We're sitting in, this abandonment for a bit. We're feeling it because it's good to feel it. We don't want to sit in it, but it's good to feel it. And so being out on the road, traveling, all of these amazing things that I've gotten to do, I've had to face fear. I've had to face abandonment. I've had to grow through all of this stuff. And you do too. You have to grow through it. Life gives us struggles so that we can see them as lessons in order to be the best version of ourselves. And that's what I've really been learning this whole time that I've been on the road. I think something that I want you to try today. Try this for me, okay? I want you to go outside and I want you to sit by a tree. I want you to just, actually, you know what? Let's go do it. Oh, how cool. Look over here. Bus is right here. Van's right here. And we have got a saguaro and a tree in the perfect spot. So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to come find that tree that you want to sit next to. And this is what I do. No joke. All these things that I tell you are things that I do myself in my bus and that I've learned along the way, and they've worked for me. Not saying you have to do them or they're for you. I'm not a doctor. I'm sharing the stories of my life to help you find ways to grow through yours. Before I would sit in all these big, heavy emotions and just stew in them, and they would just become me, and then worry and shame and blame and guilt and fear would all come out of me. And I think something that really helped was what we're about to do. So I find a place that is just absolutely divine. And hang on, I'll let you come a little closer so you're not so far back. I sit here and I feel my breathing. I take a moment to listen to the sounds around me and any birds or the breeze blowing by and the leaves. I just sit in the stillness for a minute. If anything comes into my mind, a thought that I don't want, I don't have to agree to it. I just imagine it as a cloud floating by. And I want to close my eyes and just keep focusing on my breath. And in my mind, I want to envision myself as a child, maybe 7, we'll say. And I'll envision 7-year-old Jenn. And she's scared. She's lonely. She doesn't have anyone in her life that loves her or feels like that loves her. And I see her and I know just how loved she is. And I walk over to that inner child. I bend down on one knee, and I give her the most big and beautiful embrace that I can. And I tell her just how much I love her, how much I care for her, and I show her just how far we've grown together. I tell her that I will protect her, I will love her, and I will always find time to play, to connect with her. She finally releases her tense little body, smiles up at me, and it's the biggest, most beautiful, warm feeling I can imagine. I like to do this meditation so that way I can connect with my inner self, my inner child, because that's what's hurting in abandonment. The inner little 7-year-old us that didn't have the love that we needed at that time. You know, the beautiful thing is now we get to give that love to ourselves. I'm here to tell you that is not selfish. Giving yourself love and care is not selfish. Taking those few little minutes to just go outside, sit by a tree, and give your inner child some love and care. That is one of the most effective things I have done to help soothe my inner child on a regular basis. When I have a trigger from my parents, that's what I do. I go and soothe my inner child out in nature, and it feels really good. I hope you try it. Let me know if you do. I am so excited to hear about it and what you think. Let's take a little break from being outside. The sun is starting to peep out, so I have to get a cover up for my arms. I like to stay a little bit in the sun, like 15, 20 minutes a day. And it's time to cover up. Yeah, babe.
Am I country? That I was born in the South.
Are you country?
Ben said I wasn't born in the South.
I guess Florida would be considered the South. Okay, let me get. No. 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 Wait. Okay. I will make some coffee instead. I like this this mushroom drink. I found it a couple years ago and I really like it. It's an instant coffee and it's got mushrooms and adaptogens and like all the good stuff in it. I, however, have been working outside. Kids have been inside. They've been doing school and all the things. And now I just need a hot minute to have a little coffee and fill my soul up so I can go finish the rest of the outside. Do you ever do that? Like, you have so much going on inside of your life and you just feel like nothing is getting accomplished at all. You are not alone. You are not alone. I feel that way, and then I tell myself I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. There's my teapot. There's my teapot. Oh, Kyle's home. I'm gonna be It's gonna take a minute. Shh, I know, Daddy's home. Aw. Kyle brought Molly a Starbucks. Hey guys, you wanna help Daddy get the groceries in, or are you in class?
I'm in class.
Okay. Alright, babe, I'll help you. Oh, the Chicos. Oh, the grocery outlets. Oh, the apples.
See if that will help.
I don't know if you want to go back there and ask him. That would be awesome. Potatoes O'Brien. Diced potatoes with onions and peppers. Okay.
I'll try it.
Why is it called cheese?
I haven't tried the chocolate. Oh, for my birthday decorations, I kind of want blue and white.
Blue and white.
And like
Okay.
silver, maybe.
Cheesecake thing.
Blue, white, and silver?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that. Molly's birthday is coming up in 6 days. 6 days. She's going to be 12. 12. Can you believe that I am going to have a 12-year-old?
You already had a 12-year-old.
I know, but you're going to be 12.
So
Yeah, but yeah, you're
going on a massive show.
old right now, Mommy.
I know you're 14. Oh, I love these hash browns. Oh, yes, they're so good. Yeah, buddy.
Probably picked fashion for a class next unit. Not actually. There's a chance it won't be it. But if it is, can I please not be in that class?
With what?
Fashion. Like fashion.
Mom, you're cookie.
I am making some coffee.
So when we get all the tea stuff, are you gonna make like what coffee?
Yeah, I need to get a new tea strainer. Hello, friends. I am on the top of our deck. I don't want to move too much because the wind is blowing out of the west. And I got the microphone over here. So I'm hoping, hang on. So I'm hoping that it blocks the wind a smidge. Let's, yeah, we're on top of the bus. We're gonna go, oh, there's Eli. We're gonna go down there in just a second and I'm gonna show you everything we got done. Plus we've got to wrap up this story today. And I promised you something that happened to me recently. And I don't know if it's something that has happened to you or it potentially could happen to you in the future. Yeah, I'm gonna share something that happened with me in hopes, oh, there's our Van Bodie, in hopes that, you know, maybe it'll help you. So let's go down here and check out what we did. Do, 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 do. Oh, it is breezy up here. Oh, it is breezy up here. So the inside of the bus is something left to be desired, but the outside looks pretty spectacular. And I am proud of a hard day's work. Let's head out here.
I did not like that.
Molly and Eli are hanging out with the Chico. Does this look a little different, friends? I think it looks pretty darn good. We've got pretty much the whole table is cleared off. We got a lot of stuff out here. Kyle's going to pick up his Blackstone. I have an online Bustique thrift shop. All of those clothes it's pass-through storage. See the light on the other side? So I'll leave a link to that in the description, and if you want to check it out, you can. But we've got these totes over here. All this stuff is in line. And then we've got these all ready to go. You know, abandonment is really freaking hard. And if you have gone through that, parental abandonment, any kind of abandonment, it is so difficult. And you did not deserve that abandonment. And I want you to know you are enough and you are loved and you are valued. And I've had to come out here and get in nature to learn that. I've learned the power of that we're all doing our best every single day. And treating someone the way that we were treated is not okay, right? Both can exist, and you can know that that was their best. That was the best that they could do in that moment. And yeah, I gotta share something with you. So recently, I haven't spoke to my mom in a lot of years, and my mom reached out to me by a friend request. Friend requested me on Facebook. We were on a Netflix documentary. And so I'm thinking that might be what's behind it. But what I want to tell you is that I really didn't respond because I'm not really ready to have that connection. I'm not ready to have that relationship. And that's okay. For a second though, right? It was like, oh my goodness, my mom's messaging me. She's going to be so mad if I don't accept her friend request. And here's the thing. With parental abandonment, I am no longer just their child. I am their adult child. And you know what? I get to make whatever decisions that is best for me and my family and my individual well-being. And that means not accepting that at this moment. I don't know when or if there will be a moment I do that, but right now, no. And no is a full sentence. I want you to know that. I want you to know that. I have truly enjoyed hanging out with you today. Thank you for coming over and chatting and really talking this through with me. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments about abandonment. If you have an abandonment story that you would love to share. Again, one reminder, I do want to keep this a very safe space, right? We're sharing some like vulnerable stuff, and I want to keep the comments nice. So please, please, if you have a question, be respectful with it and I'll answer anything. But people are going to be on there and they really do want a safe space. So if you could please make the comments respectful. Don't say anything to somebody else that you wouldn't want said to you. We want to curate a space where people feel loved and safe and home, you know? So thank you for coming over to my home today. Thank you for packing up with me. And I really think one of the best things you can do in life is be genuine and be your authentic self. So let me know. Let me know if you do any of the things that we talked about today. I just love you so much. Thank you for being you and being here.